speaking of messaging, we saw quite a show of U.S. military might with the midnight operation to capture Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela. So what's the messaging there, even when it comes to Iran, saying the U.S. is not playing any games?
Well, I think you're highlighting the message right there that the president has made it very clear that we are not going to allow regimes in the Western Hemisphere to foment narcotics into our country, to foment terrorist organizations in our country, to add to instability in the region. And he followed through on many of the actions that he's taken and that he spoke of, and of course very clearly demonstrated the capabilities and the responsiveness of the U.S. military, in particular of our special operations forces, to go and conduct military operations at the direction of the president and in support of important policy objectives. So I think it's a very clear reminder that the United States not only has the readiness and the capacity, but also has the will to take a risk and to follow through and do something very, very strategically important.
General Votel, has anything changed from a U.S. perspective when it comes to this new vocal support for Israeli deterrence and attack not only on Iran's nuclear assets, if need be, but on the ballistic missiles as well? Has anything changed here from the U.S. support?
Well, I think the one thing that has changed in the last month or so has been the publication of the U.S. National Security Strategy, which, makes it very, very clear that where we are focusing some of our efforts here, but also makes it very clear that Israel is not just a core partner, and not just a key national security of Israel is not just a key national security interest for us, but that we view Israel as a key core partner in the kind of the redesign of the Middle East. So I think that kind of messaging, that type of strategic documentation, I think makes it very, very clear that we are going to continue to support our partner there and look after our interests in the region, even as we look at other areas where we have concerns as well.
Well, I want to talk more about some of those U.S. strategic concerns, especially as it comes into 2026. It's January 6th, and it's hard to believe everything that we've already seen unfold this year. So when it comes to some of the regional concerns here in the Middle East, is there any one specific concern that you think the United States has to be aware of this year?
Well, clearly Iran is at the top of the list. We've been talking about that, and your previous piece there talked about the potentiality of them restarting some of their nuclear weapons program or missile capabilities. So that has got to be job number one in the Middle East right now, and I think that will be a key focus. I would also just say. Very close behind that, I think, is consolidating some of the gains and some of the opportunities that we've seen over the last year. We've still got a developing situation in Gaza. We've got to address the lingering effects of Hamas there and try to bring that situation to some level of stability. We've got to stabilize the situation in Syria with a new government. There's good news today in the Syrian-Israeli agreement on a communication mechanism. That's a good step forward. We've got some challenges down in the Gulf. We've got Saudi Arabia and the Emirates are on different sides here in Yemen. So I think one of the things that we also have to pay attention to in 2026 is trying to consolidate those and try to move those in a much more positive direction so they don't become the next festering problem in the Middle East. So those are the kinds of things that I'm thinking about.
Well, certainly a good forecast for 2026. General Votel, thank you so much for being with us on I-24 News today.
With you. Thank you.